On December 30th, 2024, in Royal Oak, Michigan, a hunter accidentally discovered human remains on a trail camera. After investigation, it was confirmed that the remains belonged to Kevin Graves, an outdoor internet personality who had disappeared 6 years earlier. A black backpack and a cell phone were also found at the scene. After unlocking the phone's contents, investigators concluded that Kevin may have been attacked by an unknown creature during his lifetime. Kevin Graves was born on January 24, 1990 in Southfield, Michigan. In high school, he was a wrestler and a sports enthusiast, which helped him develop strong physical fitness. After graduation, he worked for a decoration company and spent his free time riding an all-terrain vehicle across Michigan's scenic spots, enjoying adventure and hunting. He had been in a 2-year relationship with Sarah Rohrer. On June 29, 2018, 28-year-old Kevin and Sarah planned a trip to explore forests and attend a music festival. The festival, with music and prom-themed events, was held at a private campground in Stig National Park, open to the public only during the festival from July 1st to 4th. Young people came from all around, dressed in festive clothing, to enjoy the summer carnival. Kevin joined another couple, John and Mariana. The four planned to spend a few days at Oak Campground before heading to the Electric Light Forest Campground, just 10 miles from the festival. During the trip, Kevin and his girlfriend documented their adventures, taking photos and posting them on social media, including his Facebook account. Kevin had 10,000 followers. On June 29th, he sent a text message to his sister that read, "Dear sister, thank you for guiding me through my difficulties. I will miss you often." Although Kevin had 2 sisters, his relationship with his eldest sister, Kelly, was unusually close. On July 1st, around noon, Kevin and his girlfriend suddenly got into a heated argument. They had a serious fight while sitting in the car with the air conditioner on, and I could hear them arguing loudly. Around 5 p.m., I saw Kevin wandering around the campground. There were many families camping nearby, so I wasn't particularly worried about his safety. Kevin's friend John mentioned that most tourists in the area only come for day trips. As night fell, the campground gradually quieted down. By midnight, only the tent belonging to Sarah and her group remained with the lights on. Strangely, Kevin never returned to the campsite after dark, and his phone was disconnected by 9 p.m. The trio then planned to enter the surrounding forest in search of him. The campground was encircled by numerous marshes, both large and small. For those unfamiliar with the area, venturing into the forest at night is extremely dangerous. The trio called out Kevin's name as they searched, but received no response. According to archival records, just as they were about to give up and return, they noticed someone watching them from the grass along the path. When the flashlight beam fell on the figure, they realized it was a hunter, a few grouse hanging from his waist and blood smeared on his face. Startled by the sudden light, the hunter instinctively dodged. After a moment, he asked why they were there. John explained that his friend Kevin had gone missing. The hunter told them that Kevin's chances of survival were low and strongly advised them to call the police immediately. When the trio returned to camp at 1 a.m., their clothes were drenched in sweat. Sarah called Kevin again, and this time the call connected, but there was no response, only rapid, panicked breathing. Fearing for her boyfriend's safety, Sarah contacted the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Following the death of Sheriff David Bach, dozens of search and rescue personnel were dispatched, equipped with 6 GPS trackers, sniffer dogs, and a helicopter with night vision equipment. By tracking Kevin's phone, authorities confirmed it was still active in the early hours of July 2nd. On July 1st at 1:55 p.m., Kevin sent a reassuring text message to his sister Kelly, telling her that everything was going well. It seemed casual, almost routine, but it would later become one of the last known messages from him. Hours later, at 10:13 p.m., he sent another text, this time to his father. Unlike the earlier message, this one was cryptic and unsettling. It contained only 3 words that to this day remain ambiguous and unexplained. Investigators and family members alike have struggled to interpret its meaning, wondering if it was a final attempt to communicate distress, a mistyped message, or a coded warning. By July 3rd, Kevin's phone had gone completely silent. It signaled disappearing without a trace. Despite the use of advanced tracking methods, authorities were unable to locate it again. During the extensive search and rescue operation, photos captured of the area revealed just how challenging the environment was. The forest surrounding Oak Campground was dense and unforgiving, with thick underbrush tangled trails, and swampy terrain that could easily disorient even experienced hikers. The police mobilized an enormous effort, deploying hundreds of rescuers to scour the region. Their search extended over 2 rivers, 5 lakes, 4 separate riverbeds, a dam, 3 swamps, and hundreds of acres of rugged land. Helicopters equipped with thermal imaging flew overhead, while K-9 units combed the ground below. Despite the scale and intensity of the search, not a single trace of Kevin was found. No footprints, no discarded items, nothing to indicate where he might have gone. For 6 long years, the case remained unsolved, leaving Kevin's family trapped in uncertainty. Rumors, theories, and speculation filled the void, but no solid evidence surfaced. That silence finally broke on December 30th, 2024, when a hunter named Austin made a grim discovery deep in the forest. According to official records, Austin had been collecting trail cameras he had set up throughout the woods. As he reached the final camera, he noticed something on the ground nearby, a black backpack, lying half buried beneath leaves and debris. Scattered close to it were several bones. At first glance, Austin assumed they belonged to an animal, but one in particular caught his attention, a large femur, its size and structure unmistakably human. Alarmed, Austin contacted authorities, and forensic testing quickly confirmed what everyone had feared. The bones matched the DNA of Kevin Graves, the young man who had vanished 6 years earlier. Alongside the skeletal remains, investigators recovered a battered shirt, a pair of worn Nike shoes, and the black backpack. Time and weather had taken their toll on the items, but they were identifiable. The discovery brought a heartbreaking conclusion to the search, but also raised new questions. How had Kevin ended up in that isolated spot? Why had no trace of him been found during the massive original search effort? And what really happened to him in the final hours of his life? Kevin's cell phone was also recovered at the scene. After investigation, authorities ruled out foul play, but the exact cause of his death remains undetermined. Although the phone was heavily corroded, the police were able to extract some unexpected clues. Aside from a few text messages sent before his disappearance, Kevin had also attempted to make distress calls. Call logs show that between 10 p.m. on July 1st and around 1 a.m. the following day, he made a total of 5 emergency calls. However, for unknown reasons, each call was cut off after only a few seconds. In addition, the phone's memory card contained some unusual files. Among them was a short audio clip just over 10 seconds long. Kevin's labored breathing could be heard in the recording.
Y'all seeing this?
Suggesting he was in immediate danger. Strange howls are audible in the background, and it sounds as if Kevin was running, desperately trying to escape something. The second piece of evidence in Kevin's disappearance was a video showing him walking along a narrow forest path. In the footage, Kevin suddenly notices a towering figure moving past him at a short distance. Unlike someone simply standing still, the figure appears to be walking across the tree line, its form partially obscured by the brush. Though the clip is brief and blurry, it reveals a silhouette with a brownish hue, standing at an estimated 8 feet tall. Its sheer size and presence make the moment deeply unsettling, casting an ominous weight over the scene. According to forensic records, this video was captured on June 29th, 2 days before Kevin's disappearance, while the audio file later recovered from his phone dates to the night of July 1st, providing a chilling glimpse into his final hours. The audio suggests panic and distress, adding a layer of urgency and fear that complements the visual evidence. Another critical clue, from the night Kevin vanished, comes from Hunter Justin's trail camera, which had been installed in the area to monitor wildlife and activity near the campground. At the request of police, Justin reviewed the footage to determine if there were any unusual human activities that might explain Kevin's disappearance. Most of the recorded footage showed only small animals, squirrels, raccoons, and birds, with no indication of human presence. However, one camera captured something highly unusual, a naked man appearing in the frame, holding a stick in his right hand. The figure's sudden and strange appearance raised immediate questions, as it was unclear whether he was a transient, a lost camper, or someone with more sinister intentions. Investigators were unable to identify the man, and no further information about him has emerged to this day. While some speculate that he may have been a homeless person simply passing through, the possibility that he could have had some connection to Kevin's disappearance cannot be entirely ruled out, leaving this clue shrouded in mystery and open to interpretation. Through conversations with Kevin's girlfriend, Sarah, the police learned that the couple had argued that day over their plans. Kevin wanted to rush to the electric light forest for a bonfire that night, while Sarah planned to stay at Oak Campground. This disagreement may have prompted Kevin to leave without saying goodbye. One theory suggests that he may have gotten lost on the way to the electric light forest and accidentally died. Oak Knoll Campground is part of Manistee National Forest Park. While not extremely remote, the area contains intricate trails and swamps, making it easy to become disoriented at night despite the presence of road signs. There were no signs of large predators in the forest, and Kevin's personal belongings were left untouched, adding to the mystery of his death. One theory, based on Sarah's account, proposes that Kevin may have been accidentally killed by a hunter. On the night he disappeared, the three people searching for him encountered a hunter with blood on his face, who appeared panicked. Perhaps he accidentally caused Kevin's death and then moved the body to a hidden location. However, questions remain. Why would a hunter appear on the trail at night? And if he had killed Kevin, why did he tell the trio to call the police? His behavior remained suspicious and unexplained. The hunter seemed intent on persuading them to leave quickly, and he also seemed to know more effective ways of disposing of a body. However, analysis of Kevin's remains suggested that his body had not been buried or transported elsewhere. Police investigated the hunter and conducted a lie detector test, which indicated he was not lying and showed no evidence of acting against Kevin or having any motive to kill him. Another theory suggests that Kevin may have wandered into a quagmire or swamp, becoming trapped or drowning, and that his body could have been dragged into the bushes by floating debris or animals. However, this theory has inconsistencies. Kevin's equipment and belongings were largely intact, and there were no large predators in the area. A third theory proposes that Kevin died from a drug overdose. The Electric Light Music Festival, which began in 2011 and lasts 4 days, draws hundreds of thousands of visitors annually. In addition to music and dance, drug use is reportedly common at the festival, and some speculate that Kevin may have participated. Some even conjecture that he was involved with a cult and killed by its members. These theories remain unconfirmed and speculative. The final and most unsettling theory is that Kevin may have crossed paths with something not entirely human, a cryptid, perhaps Bigfoot, or Michigan's most infamous legend, the Dogman. The evidence recovered from his phone, an eerie audio file filled with labored breathing, frantic footsteps, and unearthly howls, along with a shaky, grainy video, suggests Kevin was alive that night, desperately fleeing from something powerful and unknown. Whatever was pursuing him seemed capable of inspiring the kind of raw fear that drove him to make 5 failed emergency calls before his phone went silent. Michigan, surrounded by the vast Great Lakes, is a state steeped in wilderness and mystery. Its sprawling forests and marshlands form an ecosystem so diverse and deep that countless legends have taken root there. Among them, none is as enduring or as terrifying as the Dogman. For over 130 years, stories of this creature have been whispered around campfires and passed through generations. Descriptions are chillingly consistent. A towering figure nearly 7 feet tall, with a torso of a man but the head of a canine. Witnesses claim it prowls the woods, standing upright like a human, only to drop onto all fours when it hunts. Some say it can shift between man and beast, blending into human communities by day and returning to the forest at night, searching for prey. Sightings often involve glowing blue eyes, the sound of snapping branches in the darkness, or bone-chilling howls that pierce the night. Bigfoot, too, has left its mark on Michigan folklore. Reports of enormous ape-like creatures stalking the forest have circulated for decades, some of them tied to unexplained disappearances and violent encounters. To skeptics, these tales are nothing more than myths born of fear and imagination. But to those who have heard the cries in the night or seen the shadows moving just beyond the tree line, the possibility feels far too real.